Hi everyone, it's Marlene from Art by Marlene. Welcome. I am starting up my iPad in the meanwhile, while I'm waiting for everyone to find me. Let's see. So, yes, found myself on Facebook. For those of you that are rewatching this on YouTube, welcome as well. And this is all a recording from my Facebook Lives during the Advent Calendar 2024. As you can see on the back of the Advent Calendar, there's written, please join us in the Art by Marlene Creators Facebook group for the year-long Advent Challenge and Lives. So the lives are actually only for the month, see my dirty box, only for the month of December, but the challenge is a year long. So every month we have a challenge where you have to use a specific envelope or 2 envelopes, and that way you can take part in the year long challenge. And you can now enter your works for the December challenge, which is using your envelopes 2 and 3. So adding work for that is more than welcome at the moment. And I'm just going to move my other light a bit. So we've got everything on screen. Good morning, Marilia. Hi. So today we have day 14 of the Advent Calendar. So we've got this little box. Every day we've got the different envelopes. And today is day 14. And for day 14, we have this candy stripe with the pink and the purple, which I kind of love. Then it says, love more, fear less, day 14 in the little frame. And you've got a little scallop at the bottom that you can use because I cut into my envelopes. And then we're taking out, so we've got 3 sheets of mini paper elements, especially made and hand-drawn by me for this Advent Calendar. So these little elements, you can just pop them out and you can see, you can pop out the inside. So it's just pre-cut. So there's cutting knives. We have to make cutting knives for all of these things to pre-cut them in this manner. So it's a quite expensive technique. So I'm happy that we could include these. So you can see that on the front of my envelope, I actually already sneaked it onto there. So I don't know if you can see it with a bit less shading, but what I did is I add some epoxy to the top of it. So the epoxy that I use, I'll just grab it to show you. Where is it? The one that I use. Oops. There we have it. Or resin. As I use this, I don't know even from which brand it is. It just says UV resin. And with a flashlight, you cure it in 2 to 4 minutes. So what I do is really just pop out my images, what I want to use. So for example, I want to use this. What I would do is, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist in this way, I will even just make sure I've got that edges exactly the way I want them. And then what I would do is add that epoxy or UV resin to the side. So I don't have a watch on me, but I hope I can see it on my iPad. Yes, I could probably. So what I'll ask you is that, what I'm going to do is just show you how to do this. Open this up and maybe just use a piece of white paper underneath there so you can see what I'm doing, and maybe do a little candy cane as well. Hello, Carol. So you can use things like a glossy accent that will give it shimmer. You can probably use something like the glitter glue you can use, but I'd rather use the glitter glue to add glitter to pages. It doesn't really just add the shine. I'm just off camera, just cutting something here on the side. There we are. So I've got these two. And now what you would do is you will add the red, oops, just remove that. You will add the resin. And it's quite a thick consistency. So it does stay on whatever you want to add it to. Just want to get a little, oops, just to keep it in place while I'm busy working. I can't have things rolling around on my desk. And I'm just going to do the glazed part of the donut. I'm going to add the resin to that part. And now it is actually just turning on the lamp and just curing it under the lamp. So I'm just going to turn this one around so it's close to that. And you just cure it. So this is a special UV lamp to cure your UV resin. And that way it's just easy to use your things in your final projects really. And it just cures it much faster than you would. So for my project, while I'm curing this, I'm just going to take you through my thoughts for this project. We've got these little cups of hot chocolate, the candy canes, the little donuts in there. You can see a cappuccino. So what I thought of doing, just taking you through my chain of thoughts and being inspired by this, by the little envelope, I was thinking, so let's just go through my, so we've got 10, 11, 12, yesterday 13, and today's 14. So I've got the purpley gradient on the left hand side. So maybe I'll add a large quote or something to that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. But I think what I want to do on this side is create a little stand with like a candy stripe, like a market stand, a Christmas market, where I would have just a tray here where we would put the little cups and the donuts on top of, and then maybe a little, I don't know exactly, but a little flag line and the top of the stand at the top of the page there. So I will of course show you exactly what I'm going to do and take you through my thoughts. I might use this as the paper for the stand. So this is, I hope I didn't time this of course, but after 3 minutes it should be totally okay and then be finished. Let's see who's all on. Carol, hello. Glad you like the paper element. Hi Irene. Hey Juanita, goeiedag. Cressida, hi there. You've not seen this before. It's quite available, quite widely I think. In every country you can find this. Just Google UV resin. And don't buy a huge thing. Just buy small ones because you can rather later on buy new ones than having to throw everything away. You don't use that as much. And then Curida Creation, hi there. Michelle, I know I'm an enabler. Now you've seen this, you want it. Hey Jay, hi Ave. Oh yes, I said good morning, Juanita, but it's good afternoon. It's 12:06. So let's just see this, and this is cured. Maybe just on this edge. Just making sure that it's cured all the way through. And I think that's okay. And I'm just going to bring it up to camera so you can really, can you see the shine on that? It just looks like an epoxy type of, isn't it cute, your candy cane? And then the glaze on the donut, having the hardened glaze there. I think that makes it a bit of fun and makes it a bit different when you do something like that. But that's just to show you how that works. So let's see the size of this donut. So everything is not going to be in proportion. I mean, I have this to work on and I don't want to go across the 2 pages. For this, I have decided. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to first just draw in what I am thinking of doing. So my favorite monograph pencil, and what I was thinking is maybe up to here have the, because I want a type of a top part of the stand, and then having a something like that, and then maybe have this up to here, and then over this to this part I will have to have my stand. So this is the little desk part. And then here the stripes going down and maybe a little flag line added at the end. So that is something that I'm thinking of to do. And I add the glossy layers on top of it before I add it to my pages, just to know what I'm working with. And then what I'm thinking then of is, when I'm finished with this, painting this in, is having my cup there, and maybe have a little donut. And then of course having a candy cane, and then a larger donut. Hi, good day. And let's see, let's have another little donut on this side, or having the one at the back, the smallest one to the front, then the large one over here, and then we are busy doing we're putting the larger one at the back, and then we can probably put a smaller one to the front. Just 1 second, and the hole. My husband is looking for the cat, but I've hidden her. So let's see. So that is what I'm thinking of, putting a little scene of different elements together and making a little stand where I can write Christmas treats maybe at the top here. So let's go with that idea. But before we go on and stick these on, we need a background, of course. So that's what we're going to start out with, definitely. So what we would need is paint, and that you already know. And of course I said I'm going to use the envelope. So that is going to be perfect to go with the stripes down. And I actually might use this part find my scissors once again. I hide them for myself every single day. There we are. There we are. Let's see. Cutting off the excess parts. Yeah, that'll be perfect. And of course I'll just have to cut off this little part. There we are. So we've got the first part in there. And then of course I want this to come to the sides and on this side. So see how broad I will want them. So I'm thinking doing 2 stripes each. Oops. A bit of a wobble. So let's just do it from this side then. And then 2 stripes on this side. And I'm thinking of doing the darker one on the outside. Yeah, and the light one on the inside. And then of course over this part, we have to just cut them at an angle to make sure that they fit into this part. So let's see. So we've got those 2, yes. So that's going to work. Then we're going to go get our table in there. This can come a bit downwards. That is about what I was thinking of. And then maybe just at the top there, I might actually add the top as well with this. Let's see how that's going to work. Sometimes things work the way that I want them to work out, and sometimes they don't. But that is just the way things is. Just a bit. That is better. So to make sure that I've got this right, I just have to fold it over to the width or the length that it is there, so I know where to cut it off. So this is the total, and then I'm going to turn it around, and then from the middle out, I'm going to, on the back, I'm going to write whatever or draw whatever I want. So I've got my little scallop. And I can draw ugly or nice, it doesn't really matter. Because it's on the back side and I'm going to cut it and you won't see anything. So let's draw the little scallop in there and around. And that's the way it is going to be. Now I want to just go in and grab one of my tools. I'm going to grab this tool, and what I'm going to do is just make sure that that little scallop, that I draw it in so I can see it on the front side. So I won't have any problems doing that in a while. And now I'm cutting it and we are making our little Christmas street stand. There's actually Christmas markets in town today, so that is why that's why I thought of the idea of doing that. And then I will have to have a piece of white in there too, because otherwise I won't be able to write on there. Oops, I'm just cut through my day 14. Can you see that? So that is not a good idea. Ships. Let's cut onto another piece. I can fix that. Let's use this part. Ah, my life. So let's just go in and it doesn't have to be straight because nothing that I do is perfect. So why would this be any different? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a backdrop, and I'm going to create a really dark background for this, because I want this to be black and I want my table to be dark. And just at the top here, I want to make sure everything is dark. Let's just go with that. And my paintbrush was wet when I added the paint, because it doesn't have to be perfect coverage. I just want this to be a dark background, just to create a bit of depth in the page, because it's going to be very naive. And as you know, I like a bit of contrast in pages. It creates interest. There we are. So let's grab the heat tool, which I have to plug in once again. There we are. And can you see, when I don't use any of my gesso, you get that when you do the black. I'm not going to change that because I'm going to cover that up, but then you know why I gesso my pages, because it gives it more grip. So let's go in with whatever I have created here. First of all, this is going to be in the front, then this is going to come to the side, this one to the side, and then like that. So let's just make sure that want to make sure that I'm drawing my, so you can see the difference between the background and the foreground. So I'm gonna, this is a really old, one of my very first markers, but I like the effect it gives, just to like dry brush it at the front. So I keep on, I'm not throwing it away because I kind of like the look that it gives, because when I use this, I'm just going to put this on here, you will see this one is a total different. Gotta shake it up. That won't be nice because then it'll be too white. You can just put it like a little white line at the top there. But let's see, so we're gonna add this first. So let's grab the sticky glue. The ABM sticky glue to the rescue. So that's the first layer. And then Let's put the sidebars in. Good morning, Kay. Hi, Timon. You'll say hi. So let's put that in. And then at the top there, before I put that in, I just want to make really sure that we draw this in. So let's see what I'm going to use for this. Let's grab my marker and maybe just go in and just write on that. Let's put that down, and then of course I don't know how this is going to adhere to one another because this is really shiny on shiny, but I'll just give it a quick dry. It's still moving around. Two shiny layers on top of one another aren't that great. There we are. Let's see. Okay, the 2021 calendar. Now I have to give it a think. Which one is that one? The green one? I think so. Let's see. I'm just going to take that off. And now, just to add to that banner, to the banner. There we are. And then, oops, on camera. And of course we're going to still add lots of stuff. We're going to add a little flag line. There we are. So we're going to add a bit of line work to our design so it becomes a drawing instead of just a collage. And I really want this to be a bit darker there. to get the emphasis at the top there, because I will add white later on. I'm trying to think which one you mean. The 20... last year's one was the same boxes. There was the stencil advent calendar. Then the year before that we had the greenish one. The year before that we had the bluish one, I believe, or the white one. The last year was the white one. The year before that was the green one, and then that's the terms that I remember things in, not the years. Oh, I laugh at myself, but it's actually sad that I'm like that. I'm looking for something, and it is probably a pen, because I have to write in there. And of course, I have all of these things that's going to go in over here. But we want that little flag line, but I don't know if I'm going to put that over here. A little flag line. This needs fuzzy cutting in any case. I'm really bad like that. For bigger projects, I don't mind it, because I kind of just work that little border into my project. But when you have a small project like this, you can't have that, because then you see everything. Oh, thank you. They are cute, aren't they? I wanted to have something Christmassy in the advent calendar and draw something really Christmassy for that especially, but I also wanted it to still feel really art by Marlene and not be real Christmas theme. So this is just kind of more winter theme, so it's very inclusive for even for people that do not celebrate Christmas. You can still use this. And then that's really difficult, because I try to be very inclusive for everyone, and so everyone can celebrate with us and play with us with the Advent. And it's really difficult because you don't want too many Christmas themed things in there. So this is the way that it's looking so far. So that makes a lot of sense to me for now. And now I'm going to just make sure I've got a little light on in the middle there. So let's put these to the side again. So we put a bit of white. In the middle saddle. I really eat a donut right now. We have in the Netherlands, with the New Year's tradition here, is to eat what we call a oliebol. And it's kind of a donut dough that is just filled with powdered sugar, or covered with powdered sugar. So I'm just trying to create a little light over here. So I'm going to first add the white. And once I've added the white, I will add the yellow, of course, because if you go in with yellow over the black, you will never create a light. There we are, we've got the little light shining from the top there. And I'm going to maybe change my mind about this. I think I will change my mind about that in just 1 second. I might add a little pattern on top of there. So this is still covered in my embossing stuff, so I just have to quickly remove that. Just quickly dry it. And what I'm going to do is just add a bit of that black stenciling through there. So you can just see a bit of that pattern. I don't know if you're going to see it at the end, but I'm just thinking that it's... So once again, my little sponge, just putting it in water. The Artist sponges, one of the best buys that you can have, really. They are not expensive. You buy them in a huge bundle. I believe there's 48 sponges in them. You can reuse them. You can cut them to size. And they are brilliant for all little projects. Just want to make sure that I do have a bit of interest, like it looks like a tablecloth thingy there on top of that. I have to put a bit more paint. Oops. Too wet. There, we just have a bit of interest, and then with a white pen I'm just going to create a bit more interest there. So if we see, I don't know which parts we're going to still see of this, but it just looks interesting. Just a few white dots at the background there. A few stripes. And once again, very important always is to create that bit of contrast. That is a very important part of everything, is that you need contrast in your pages. So if you've got these thick, broad, naive lines, you will need some fine lines just to play it off a bit, just so it doesn't become boring. So now we've got that part with that lamp in the middle, and let's grab our little images before we stick them down. This one was in the middle there. A little cup at the front. This one at the other side. Candy cane there, and a little candy cane in the front, something like that. So that's the way we're going to play this one. Now I'm going to grab my glue, and I'm going to commit to this, what do you call it, I don't even know what you call it now. It's not a composition really, but just to this layout. like I said to you yesterday, committing to a design is very important, because sometimes people just can't make the choices, and it's really difficult, and it becomes more and more difficult because you just don't commit to a choice, and that is art for you. You have to commit to just making the choice, even if you're in the ugly stage. I mean, the ugly stage is really part of it all. Everything can't be beautiful all of the time. So I kind of like it when I put my donuts like that, because the drips are going down. Otherwise it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So just explaining to you why I do things the way I do them. I have to look for something for inspiration. I can't think up in my own head. Yes, JK, sometimes you can have a look for inspiration, but try and use it as inspiration and not do it exactly like that, because the way of inspiration is trying to, I used to teach a class, a Funky Faces class, and I might teach it in the future again. But what I used to do with people is, oh, I just wanted to fuzzy cut this one still, but I've already added the glue. Oops. I'll just do the outside then. That's the worst part. So there we have that. So that looks quite fun already, I think. To me it looks quite fun already. So what I will have now is I will actually have a little string. So I'll have to come in and, oops, put a box in here, and I should have some string or something. I can use the gold one. That'll be fun, but I can use black too. Let's just use the gold one. So we'll have that piece of string, and I will want a little flag line hanging, maybe from there. I don't know exactly, but this is what I'm thinking. Look, these look great with glossy accents. Yeah, I'm sure they will look great with the glossy accents and just the shine on them. So what I want to write in at the top here is Xmas treats. So just grab my red. Oh no, this is the orange. Where's my red one? Just to the side here. And it's X. A-S. That is just a, and then the other one is going to be treats, and that's going to be yellow. I'm going to use black around it. So don't worry if you can't see it now. I'm going to write around it. I'm going to go in. And I'm going to do this darker on the one side. So everything to the right, I'm going to try and remember to darken as far as possible and as far as it works with the rest of my design. And then Christmas. That is Xmas. Treats. And once again to the right hand side, just try and darken it. Then treat. And once again to the right hand side, try and darken everything a bit. It just makes it look nicer to have that on there. And then of course the S. Get on there. Christmas treats. So that looks like a bit of a stand. Now for the little flag line, what I want is just a little extra piece of printer paper. Nothing much. And I want a pink one. I want a yellow one. I want a little lilac flag, just to pull that lilac to this page. I want a red one. I want a turquoise one. And maybe a blue one. There we are. And then just grab my brush, make sure it's clean. And then just create a blue area for blue flag. Then we're going to, oh, this is too, just took all, my paintbrush was too wet, so I just took off all the paint. Turquoise one. A red one. Clean your brush in between, make sure it's dry. Purple or lilac. The yellow one. And then we've got the pink one. So that's going to be our flag line. Give it a quick dry. So once you have all of the colors dry, you can now do your folding, making sure that you can just create these little small triangles from this, and you're going to just create these little flags and just cut the flags from there we are. So then you want to open these up. You've got your blue and you've got your yellow. Turquoise. Where's my little pink thing? This is so small. So I've got the yellow and you've got this one. So there we are. So what I want to do is I'm going to fill these with sticky glue. And I'm going to make sure that when I put these in front of me, that they will become no broader than my page or no wider than my page. Then I'm just going to take my little string and lay it on top of there so that they're almost in the middle, and then I'm going to just fold them and close the little flags. Oops, don't do that. So the little yellow one and the blue one. And you've got a little flag line. Can you see that? Just a cute little flag line that you can have on top of your page. I think it makes it look cute. So we will have to make sure that we add them, or I can maybe add them to this part. This is even better, I think. This works better. And what I'll do is I'll cut off the last piece of the string, and also on this side. And I'll just stick it to the last flags on each side. So I'll stick the last flag there, and on this side see how easy that is? Just creates a little flag line and it looks super cute always. I think that looks great. So what I want to do in the sky is I want to just create little dots and stars. You can always stencil that too, but I just don't want to take too much time anymore. So just to have that in the sky behind there. What I like to do is sometimes just go in with these Oh, and make sure this won't write really well on that, but just make sure you've got your little highlights, even on your flag line. Add a little highlight, it makes it look interesting. Even on your little donuts. Do or do not. I think that looks nice. Now we have to add the day. And of course we have to add something to this page, because this page is really, really boring. So what I want to do, I think, is I want to add this border to the bottom. And I'm going to include the Art by Marlene part. You don't have to, you can just use the border. But as I am Art by Marlene, I kind of like to include that. Just cut it straight. And then make sure you cut the bottom straight too. That'll give you a nice base for this project. So let's grab that. Oops. Oopsie de poopsie. So let's put that on. That already brings the black over to this page and already unifies the two pages, because you've got the black and white here and you've got the black and white over there. And then I'm thinking of maybe using the whole little frame and put it on a pole. I think that is what I will do. And once I stick it down, you won't see I cut through the so I'll put it like that, day 14 on the top of a pole. Yeah, that'll work. And I've got this little piece of purple from there left, so I'll use that as the pole, so that'll unify it. So let's grab this, add a bit of glue. I'll just tore a piece off. And then let's add glue to this part. So what I'm trying to do is giving you something different every day. So it's a total different thing than the previous day, showing you lots of different, not ideas, but just ways of working. I work in a storytelling way, so I kind of like it to become some story. You can see it in all my pages. I kind of have a story coming through. And that's just the way that I like to work, and I like the bright and happy colors. You will make me really unhappy if I have to not work with bright and happy colors. And then let's say love more, fear less. So let's grab that too, because that's I'm a bit of a person that is always a bit scared of everything. Not of art, but I'm not a very brave person. And I always think that you just need to fear less, really. Especially in these times, and with the war warnings coming out too. us in the Netherlands at the moment, where they're telling you to stock up because the war is coming and everything. It's even on the news. So that is type of things that I just doesn't work really well with my system. I get a bit panicked. So maybe there, or love more, fear less. I think there. We'll just add them. That's too much on one page and too little on another page. So we'll do it like that. Love more. Putting a bit of pressure just to make sure it sticks. And then fear less. So if all of you, if you're watching and you want to do something for me, the best thing you can always do is just share Art by Marlene's name and tell people to have a look at the YouTube channel and see if they like it. Everyone has different tastes, so not everyone will like it, but you help me tremendously by spreading the word and telling people about us and about the products, the ones that you enjoy, honestly. So this is it. So you can add lots of other borders if you want to. I mean, you can go in and we've got these borders that you can go on and around the sides. You can add a few flowers if you want to there. But for the moment, I am finished. Maybe off camera, I will decide something else. And what I will do now, however, is I will draw a border around here because I don't like that white. So I will go in and I will create a black border around my page. And not everyone will like it, but the thing is, you have to do what makes you happy and what you think looks nice in your journal. You can't just do it for someone else. Your book is your book. Create something in there that makes you happy. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Really, it isn't. So just create something that makes you happy. Let's see. I think that is just a bit better. There we are for day 14 of the Art by Marlene Advent Calendar. I will try and be on tomorrow at 10 or 11. I don't know exactly what time it'll be, but I will let you know. I usually try and just put a warning out an hour beforehand, but in the weekend it's just difficult to plan all the times in. And take on and just trying to consider my family for the rest as well. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and enjoy this. Bye bye.